let's switch screens here. We're about to bring Brian Robillard on. Let me see if I remember how to do this. He should be one click away here. 2 clicks. Hey there, Brian. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm really glad you're on tonight.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Go ahead.
So this right here is my 1987 Ski-Doo Citation. It was inherited from my grandfather. We used to ride around the fields on it when I was younger and everything, and I used to actually ride around with my grandmother on the back because she was too afraid to drive it.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to just drive around the fields here at my grandfather's house, which is actually the property I'm at now because my parents purchased it. But I had been interested in going to the vintage snowmobile events. Last year was the first year I was actually able to attend them, and I talked to my grandfather previously about bringing it, and he said, "Oh, I don't care. It's your snowmobile. Do what you want."
Sure.
So the next day I saw him, he started asking again, "Hey, so you're gonna bring the snowmobile to the show?" I'm like, "I don't know, Grandpa. Just talked to you about it yesterday." And he kept that up for a couple more days. So I decided I was gonna bring it no matter what. And a few days after that conversation, he actually passed away. This was in January of last year.
Yeah.
And then I went to the Crane show in February, the first weekend of February. And luckily, I was able to attend that, and we all had a good time there. And more than grateful that I was actually able to get second place in my class.
Wow.
So
that's amazing. So I'm sure he's looking down on all of that and being very proud of you, I would imagine.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Brian, before you continue, one thing I forgot to do is I wanted to ask our viewers to comment on this. If they have any questions for you or comments about the sled, or just I'd like it if they could let us know whether or not they can see your sled. So anyone viewing this, if you could comment, we would really love it. And yeah, continue, Brian. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Please continue.
Oh, that's okay. I'll actually go walk around to the sled just so everyone can kind of see it right now. Like I said, the 87 Citation has never been restored. Nothing's ever been changed on it. It's all original except the windshield, which I ended up breaking when I was a kid. I drove into one of the apple trees.
Oh, no.
So we didn't have to replace that, but besides that, everything else is fully original on it.
Nice.
We just walk around and show you guys the sled. Let me get, I can actually open the hood for you.
Yes, please do.
So, yeah, nothing's been painted. It's just been cleaned up, polished.
Yeah, that's
very common for the Citations. You can actually see where you get the burn mark on the toolbox cover.
Yes.
But, yeah, and then I don't know why my grandfather had that little piece of tin over the exhaust.
Sure, yeah.
I left it there just because it's something that he put on. He was very influential in getting me into a snowmobile. So actually, I got his first snowmobile also, which is a 72 Elan. I started riding that here at his house probably around 4 or 5 years old. So he and my father got me into the snowmobiling at a very young age.
Nice.
And, I've definitely been hooked on it ever since.
Awesome. Now, were they brand loyal to the Ski-Doo brand, or is that just coincidence that they were both Ski-Doos? Or
they preferred the Ski-Doos, but my grandfather had the 72 Elan, 250 single cylinder, and then he ended up purchasing this 87 Citation. Right before I was born, my father bought an 88 Ski-Doo Safari 377, which I also still have.
Nice.
So just what they preferred.
Sure.
I actually have, let me think about it, 2 Polarises, an Arctic Cat, and then the rest are Ski-Doos.
Nice. So you've got a mix of them.
Yeah, a little bit of variety.
Nice. Oh, Jeff Nix is asking us how many miles are on this sled.
It's very, very few. My grandfather never took it anywhere. It was just ridden around a 3-acre field, once a couple times a year. So it's very, very low on mileage.
Very nice. Good deal. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff, for asking that question. We appreciate it. And I recognize you, Jeff, from other podcasts. So I appreciate you being a repeat viewer here. But yeah, please continue, Brian.
So I've been, last year I ended up taking up the Cranes. Then after Cranes, we ended up going to Bear Brook, which I went there with my wife, my friend, and his son, and we all had a good time there. So I hope to continue this. Snowmobiling has been a hobby for me ever since I was very little. But definitely doing these vintage events, definitely interested in, and it's something I want to keep continuing going.
Nice. Yeah, those are a lot of fun, aren't they?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Those vintage events are a lot of fun, aren't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now that I've gone to them and had the older sleds with the connection with my grandfather and my father, definitely something I'm interested in and I want to stay around.
Nice.
Hopefully in the near future we'll be able to actually get the Elan on here. Yeah.
That would be cool. And I'm going to ask people to keep an eye out for you at the next Crane show. I know I'm planning to go, and I'm going to keep an eye out for you. And hopefully you'll keep an eye out for me, and hopefully we'll run into each other and hang out a little bit. And
absolutely.
Anyone viewing, if you see either of us over there at the show, please say hello.
Yeah, the more the merrier. It's definitely a tight-knit community, and everyone seems to help everybody out, and it's something that you can definitely grow fond of.
Yeah, for sure. It is addictive. You're right. Before we wrap this up, Brian, are you open to starting that sled up?
Yeah, sure. I'm actually fire it up right now for you.
Yeah, awesome.
It's a little cool.
Sure. No, that's cool.
Yeah. If you'd like, do you want me to fire it up again, or?
Yeah, if you feel like it. Yeah, and Outboard Marine is on here. He says, "Nice ski-doo, Brian. Thanks for sharing." So you're getting some comments here. There we go. Good deal. Well, good. Yeah, I really appreciate your coming on, Brian. That's really fun to see that, and I hope you'll come on again and show us that Eland at some point and some of your other.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me on and making me a part of this, and I definitely look forward to more in the future.
Good deal. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. We'll be in touch.
All right. Thank you very much.
All righty. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care.
All right, yeah, that was Brian Robillard, and thank you so much to Brian for coming on here live. He is our first live participant in this podcast, and not our last for sure. And I'd like to have him on again real soon to show some of his other sleds. So let's not waste any time. Let's meet Jim Layton. Let me bring him to the stream here. How you doing tonight, Jim?
Good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. I appreciate your coming on. Now we've been chatting. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Great event. Glad to be part of it.
Well, glad. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that. Now, you mentioned earlier you've got some vintage ski-doos you'd like to show us. Are you ready to give us some show and tell on that?
Yeah, we can do that. I'm going to try to turn the camera around here so we can go through it.
Sure.
Remember how this is all done here in front?
That's all right. Take your time.
All right, there's my feet.
Sure.
All right, so we'll start with a sled that I just brought in. It's not a ski-doo, but it's pretty close.
I remember those.
1971. I'm actually doing this for my cousin. He was looking for something that his grandparents used to ride, and that happened to be one of them. So we picked up 8 of them to see if we can make 2. So
wonderful.
Starting off, this one's a single-cylinder sled. It's got the slide rail suspension. It's kind of a Johnny Cash sled. Got a 400-gallon single motor and a slide rail suspension on it. So,
sure.
But it'll be a fun sled when we get it together and get it on the trail.
Nice.
So, yep.
Now I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second, Jim.
Yep.
We've got a lot of comments coming in from people saying that they can see us and hear us. I'm going to ask them if they have questions for you to please post a comment, and as those come up, I'll read them and ask you the questions, and hopefully you have an answer for us.
Well, we'll try.
Wonderful. Yeah, please continue, Jim.
We'll do our best. So we'll go over. I got a few motors. That's a Sachs motor for one of these ski rules. That's a 340 SS motor. It's, I guess from what I understand, it's a pretty desirable engine. I'm not much of a ski rule guy, so don't know a lot about them.
Sure.
Move on to my 66S motor with the twin carbs.
Nice.
Got the chassis of that down back. There's a motor from my 65. That's also with the chassis down back. The 64 motor and chassis are still together. They're all sitting in the trailer. We got a 440 TNT engine out of a 71 Ski-Doo. We'll move over on. Here we go.
While you're going over there, Paul Bilodeau has made a comment. He said that's an oldie but a goodie. I'm not sure which of the engines or if it was the ski rule, but he likes what he's seeing. But please continue.
We got a 292 Black Dot engine.
Nice.
This is a 71 340 TNT.
Yeah.
And this motor here was from one of the almost first racing sleds that my dad had, which I still have everything to. It just needs an awful lot of work. That's a 669. It has the dual carbs on it.
Nice.
So I've got that. I've got the whole sled. It just, like I said, it needs a lot of work, but it ain't going to go anywhere, even if I don't ever get a chance to fix it, just because, again, it's another one of his.
Yes.
We'll move over here. We've got a 340 Black Dot. It's a beaten up old machine that we like to race around with. I've done it some grass drags, and we've taken it on some ice drags, some radar runs. We try to run it in a little circuit that we have here, but it hasn't got much running in that circuit. But it's a fun little machine to have around. So it's a fun toy to play with.
Yeah, with that Black Dot, that's an interesting piece of history right there.
Yes. Yeah. So then here's my lineup that for some reason I'm very partial to the 1970 Olympics.
Yes.
Not sure why. I just love the bubble nose. I've always had a 1970 Olympic for the most part. As a kid, I remember, I think actually the first one that we had was a 69 12-3. And what we're seeing here, closest one to me is a 70 12-3. That is this one here. I just got this fall to kind of looking in that 70 lineup that Skidoo had. The only one I'm missing is 335 had an electric start, one of these, and that would make the fourth round that they had in 1970 for the Olympics. But I have all three sizes.
That's cool.
So this one is the one that I just got. I'm going to do hopefully a lot of work to this, picking up a seat. Going to probably put it together first, get it out running and playing it, and then we'll strip it down. And I think that may be one that I might take and really clean up and paint really well, and then just work my way across the line.
Yeah, that's a great foundation for a project.
Yep. Next one's the 335, and that's a single cylinder, obviously.
Yep.
And then the next one over is the 399, which is a twin.
Nice.
So,
Now, we do have some comments coming in. I'll interrupt you real quickly. Tom Peters, a mutual friend of ours, has come on. He's saying hello. He likes what he sees. And then Jeffrey Saunders says he has an Olympic as well.
Yes. There's a lot of these out there. They are so much fun to drive.
Yes, and they're iconic.
Yes. The 399, I got that out of a barn. The barn actually collapsed. I did have to find another Callan for it and a steering post. But beyond that, everything else is totally original. The 335 I actually found in town here on somebody's backyard covered in an old tarp that had been sitting there for years that kind of averted me. And then I found it when the wind started tearing the tarp apart. This one is basically totally original. And the same with the 12.3. What you see is what it was when I picked it up just this fall.
Nice.
So those are my babies. I really, like I said, I really like the 70 lineup. We have quite a few different sleds when it all comes down to it. This one right here I got, and I'm holding on to it for dear life for my granddaughter.
Yeah.
71 Kitty Cat, hanging in the rafters of my garage.
Wonderful.
Still has the original seat on it. It's in pretty good shape. So
Nice.
Runs really well. So
Now, Jim, is that the first year they made the kitty cats?
What's that?
Is that the first year they made the kitty cats?
From what I understand, I believe that is the first year the Kitty Cat was made.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, Brian Robillard is on here. He's admiring your collection. He's a fellow Ski-Doo enthusiast as well, and he says he likes your collection. So please continue.
Thank you. Yes. So in amongst those type of things, I like to kind of work my way around and have a few little toys of different sort that I can take to a show. And this is obviously probably things I've seen on the internet before, but it was something that came out of my head that a friend of mine helped me build. And essentially we took a little Murray mini bike. The front ski is often a 67 Skidoo drop down. The rear end is a double track, and that is often a Sears snowblower.
No kidding.
And the engine is often a big old, and I don't remember which snowblower, but the engine is a Kohler motor, often another old snowmobile. And we just kind of pieced it together and kind of made a fun little toy out of it. It's something that I can get on and drive around the grounds with at a show. And people just kind of look at it and go, wow, what is that thing?
Yeah, I bet that gets a lot of double and triple takes, and yeah, that's truly unique.
So that's kind of that's one of the neat little toys that we're working with.
Wonderful. And Chuck Lako is on here too. He's saying nice collection. So we've got a lot of people on here admiring what you have in your garage there.
So what I've got here tonight is a small handful of what we have between me and a friend of mine, and we're hoping to stick together a building locally here where we can house these things. Rather they look the way they look what you're seeing right now, or their sleds have been totally redone and look brand new. We have the kind of the from one end of the spectrum to the other of something that we pulled off a rock pile to sleds that have been totally redone and brand new. And that is something that we're hoping to put into this. We kind of affectionately call it a museum, but obviously it won't really be a museum, but it'll be something that's local here for people if they wanted to come see it. But I think more or less we're really building it for ourselves to work on our sleds where we can all get together as friends and have fun and put things together. So we have some pretty unique stuff. My hopes is that maybe the next time that we talk, I can put together some of our factory race sleds that we have. And we can show those. We have some Blizzards. We've got some Articats, Snowjet, some different things like that they're pretty fun sleds. So the one of them is Tom Peters. He purchased it and rebuilt it. It's a 71 Blizzard 440.
Sure.
And the thing is literally brand new. It's never had fuel or oil in it. It's never run. When he rebuilt it to brand new spec and then left it
Wow.
on a stand. Never been started. So it's a really cool type of thing to have. It matches my father's 71 797 Blizzard,
Sure.
which you'll see when we do that. That's an original sled that he bought brand new from a local dealer when he was racing. And we'll go over that stuff at a time when we can kind of show those.
Nice. Now we've got David Crawford on here. He's complimenting you on that Mini. He really likes that. And he's also wondering about this museum project that you have going. He's wondering where that is.
We are looking to try to do something in Caribou, Maine.
Caribou, Maine.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah,
and I hope you'll come on
that's
every now and then and give us updates with your projects and the museum project and all of that.
We will. It's like I said, it's something that my buddy really is. He really enjoys it. He enjoys picking up these sleds, and we all enjoy getting together and rebuilding them and riding them. And so it started out to be a workshop, so everybody could be together, and it just turned into something that hopefully we're going to have the right building to kind of work on stuff, but also have everything lined up that that it's all there. And if somebody wanted to come see it, we could open the doors up and show it off.
Wonderful. So I imagine at first it would start as almost by appointment only, so to speak, and
it
at some
probably
point,
would, yeah. And that
Sure.
may be all it is going to be. If we can even get there, that's our hopes. You got to find the right building and have the right, to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But we do have to have a place for our sleds because there's quite a few sleds. So he's pretty diligently looking for something or going to do something. So eventually I'm hoping we'll have something that we can share with the public a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. And if anybody viewing this knows of something in the Caribou, Maine area of a building that might be possibly suitable, definitely reach out to Jim and or to me even, and I'll relay that to Jim.
Yeah. So this going back to talking about this sled right here, the Black Dot and the vintage racing. I think it probably for us here in Maine, it all extends to the One Lunger 100 in Turner, where they do the big single cylinder race every year that they've gone on
Sure.
for so long. And then there's a group that started a race circuit, and that race circuit has gone on for a few years now. And it extends from the single cylinders up to the twins and triples and whatever. And it's quite a circuit that runs from one end of Maine to the other. A lot of riders, a lot of fun. We jumped in on that a couple of years ago as a fundraiser for our cancer fund that we have in Limestone. So we've been raising money to help patients out that can't afford the gas, the hotel rooms, the food, the trips to go to Bangor, Portland, or Boston, or wherever they need to go. And we started that out and by doing a motorcycle ride, and then we got into doing a few other fundraisers, and then we joined in with this race. And actually this month here, we have dished out in the 5 or 6 years that we've been doing it, we dished out $100,000 in help for.
Wow, that is impressive.
So that is something that we're pretty proud of. That we just got word on that's the money that we've raised over the years and helped people out. So that's
Impressive, and that offers genuine help to people who really need it.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a website or anything for that fundraising effort?
We don't. We have a Facebook page. It's called Brian's Ride.
Brian's Ride. Okay.
Yeah.
So if someone is curious about that, search for Brian's Ride on Facebook if you're curious about that, and that would take you there. But I didn't mean to interrupt you. You've got a poster on the wall there. Please tell me more about that.
Okay, so this poster's my father's Blizzard. I took this picture here when in 2010 it was sitting in the gravel pit down back of the farm, and then in 2018 is when my father first got his hands back on it after the Kiefers had restored it, and I got it back from the Kiefers after it was totally done, and brought it home and surprised him with it. And so he's standing by it when had been sitting forever, and then after the restore. So
Wow! So before and after.
Yeah,
that's an impressive restoration.
It's a beautiful restoration. They did a wonderful job.
Yeah, for sure. That's really nice.
So if I can turn back around here, camera. Oop, there we are. All right. So I'm not sure if anybody's got anything else. That's kind of what I got here for tonight.
Yeah, I really appreciate your coming on. And David Crawford has commented, good work. He said it's really good work.
Thanks.
And yeah, I appreciate your coming on. And I hope you'll come back every now and then to show us more of your projects and keep us posted on the museum as well as the fundraising effort.
We will. And hopefully if we can come out of this and we can have our race in March, I definitely will be back on to let you know how that's going. And if it's gonna come around, that's quite a race, and maybe we can have a little bit of video from that here and there, and
Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about that. Yeah, once
See how it
we
goes.
offline, we'll see if we can make arrangements to do something live from that race.
Yep.
And once you have dates or any kind of arrangements, keep me posted on that, and we'll put it on here.
I will. I'll keep in contact with the operator of that from Tame the Track and see how he's coming with it, and we'll see how this whole COVID thing works out. And if we're, if it does work out and we can have a race, then I'll definitely get back with you on it.
Wonderful.
Hopefully sometime next month or maybe in February we'll have some race sleds sitting somewhere where I can kind of do the same thing again.
Yeah, that'd be great. We would love to see those, and I'm sure the audience would as well. And we've got more comments. David Crawford says thanks to Mike and Jim, and your friend and mine, Tom Peters, says this is great. He really likes it.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, great. Thanks for coming on, Jim. Have a wonderful evening.
All right, you too.
All righty, take care.
Yep, bye.
Let's bring him on right now. I'm getting him. Here we go. How you doing tonight, Remy? Can you hear me okay?
Hi, people. Hi, Mike.
Hi, nice to see you. I appreciate your coming on tonight. Now, Remy is
Yeah.
from Quebec.
Thanks.
And Remy has a website. I'm going to show you his website. It's a website called Bring Back the Ski-Doo Elan. And I think that's a great idea. What can you tell us about that, Remy? Do you want to tell us about your project?
Yeah, it started this summer when I was building my four-stroke Elan, and I asked me why did Bombardier didn't make it again. And I think it's a good idea because the snowmobile are very powerful and not very adept for young people. And the Elan is 50 years old, and and people want them. So I think it's a good idea to bring them back.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. I think it would be nice to have a snowmobile with a low price point and something that's just as light and easy and agile to use as the Elan was. Those little Elans would go everywhere, anywhere that these big, powerful sleds would go. And I think these powerful sleds are great. The modern powder sleds are great. But I do believe that there's a place for something like the Elan, something really lightweight and inexpensive. It seems like that would be a hit with the ice fishermen as well. Now, while we're talking about this, Remy, I'm going to pose a question to the audience to get some feedback. So to the audience that's watching this, tell me what you think. Would you like to see Ski-Doo bring back the old 1995-1996, which is the last year of production? Would you like to see them just retool that model year and bring that back? Or would you like to see Ski-Doo reinvent the Elan and do a completely modern interpretation of the Elan? So I'm going to ask you guys to post your comments and see what you guys are thinking about that, and see if we can get some consensus as to which way people are leaning with that. And before we do, Remy, I'm going to ask you to hold on a second. I want to see what we've had come in for comments of people watching here. We've got John Spranger from Flame, Wisconsin. We've got Andre DePati. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble reading the screen here. Harry Batdorf from International Falls, Minnesota. Perry Kemments from Pembina, North Dakota. Jim Layton, a good friend of ours. How you doing, Jim? He's wishing us Happy New Year's from the state of Maine. We've got Sam Field on. He said, "Good evening. It looks good and sounds good." Oh, I can put these right on the screen here, which is nice while I'm doing this. We've got Bill Cook from upstate New York. We have Scott Verdon from Michigan. Richard Murphy, first-time viewer from Drake, Massachusetts. Welcome, Richard. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you decide to come back and join us every week. We have a great time doing this. We've got Mark Maratsky, first-time viewer from Minnesota. Thanks for coming on, Mark. We really appreciate that. We've got Ray Nelson from Cumberland, Wisconsin, first-time viewer. Thank you so much, Ray, for giving us a shot and see what's going on here. We've got Kurt Isaacson from Lemoore, North Dakota. John Panuski from Anoka, Minnesota. Did I read that twice? I'm not sure. Anyway, we've got Brian Robillard, a good friend of ours. Brian is on here every week. We really appreciate your coming on. And Brian is from Putnam, Connecticut. John Baird, first-time viewer. Thanks for coming on, John. Appreciate it. Hope you'll join us every week. Tom Gregory from Armada, Michigan. Bill Desjardins from Alberta, Canada. We've got Scott Brown from the boondocks of North Dakota. Brad Curtis. Sounding good, he says. Brad is from Syracuse, New York. Jeff Brain from Lee, Massachusetts. Cecil Fossil, first-time viewer from Northwest Minnesota. Thanks for coming on, Cecil. Appreciate your coming and checking us out. Lyndon Dewey, sounds good, from Stillman Valley, Illinois. Andre DePati from Quebec. Now, there's a fellow Quebecer there for you, Remy. So that's cool. We've got Jeff Nix, regular viewer, checking in from North Liberty, Iowa. And yeah, we've got a lot of Quebecers. And by the way, we've got a lot of Quebecers that view this, so if you are from Quebec, please say hello and mention that you are watching from Quebec. We've got Jeff Spranger Jr. from Spans, Wisconsin. Rick Libby, first-time viewer, St. Andrews, New Brunswick. And I lost my place here on the... If I scroll, it really goes by. I apologize. Okay, here we go. Joe Lewis from Jackson, Maine. Marshall Lowe. I don't know if that's a person or a place, but Marshall Lowe, Jackson, Maine. Thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. Lyndon Dewey, regular viewer from Stillman Valley, Illinois. Bill Cook. Yes, he's seen the price of the Elan go up $1,000. Okay. We've got Aaron Selly from Cabot, Vermont. I've met Aaron at some of the Vintage Snowmobile shows. He's got some really nice sleds. Aaron, we'd love to have you come on here live sometime, by the way. Let's have a side conversation about that. Send me an email if you would. If you'd like to come on, do some show and tell with some of your sleds. I know you've got a lot of them between your brother and your father. We would love to have some of that on here. Next, we've got Steve Dickinson, a good friend of mine. Steve Dickinson has a lot of really nice vintage Arctic Cats, and he is from Berlin, New Hampshire. We see him at a lot of the shows. Sam Field. Yes, okay. Sam Field likes the idea of the revamping the Elan with a four-stroke. And in a few minutes, Remy is going to show us his four-stroke project. I'm sorry, I can't talk tonight.
Yeah.
Remy has done a four-stroke conversion of a 1971 Elan, which is really nice. And once we've gone through all these comments here, we're just about done, and we're going to have Remy show us that. But I wanted to just say hi to everybody who's saying hi to us. We've got Paul Bilodeau from Gonick, New Hampshire. Thank you for coming on, Paul. I think you've been on here before. I recognize your name there. George Zanbelt from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. We've got Paul Noblock. Where is all the snow? Yes, if you're in the Northeast, not much snow. How are you doing with snow up there, Remy? Do you guys have much snow up in Quebec?
No, not at this time.
Yeah, same here. We've got about 6 inches of that. It's pathetic.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I'm maybe an hour or more south of you. I'm just over the border in Vermont. But just a few more comments to go over through here. Peter Chappell from Cuyahoga, New York. We have Brian Abrams, Lake George, New York. Paul Noblock, Wausau, Wisconsin. Francis Benson. Now we're starting to get into some comments about the Elan. Francis says he loves the idea for the Elan, and I bet he's looking forward to having you fire that up and take a look at that project you've got. Let's see. Alden Banks from New Brunswick, Canada. Diane Baker from New York in the Catskill Mountains. Thanks for coming on, Diane. We appreciate it. George Harrisumchuk. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but George is from Kenora, Ontario, Canada, and he thinks a liquid-cooled Elan would be great with more suspension travel. That's a great idea, George. What do you think about that, Remy? You like that idea? Go ahead.
I want to keep. Yeah, it's a good idea, but maybe with the four-stroke, I don't think you need a liquid cooled engine, because this is a little sled that don't have a lot of performance, so heat is not a big problem with this kind of sled, I think. But it's because at the end, it's the weight of the sled count too.
Oh yes, that's what accounts for the agility of the Elan, is how light it was. Yeah, absolutely. Just a few more here. We've got Jamie Duffy coming on. We've got Rick Petrucco from Cortland, New York. We have Rob Ramesh from Ontario, first-time viewer. Thanks for coming on, Rob. Patrick Goodrow, a good friend of ours from Haverhill, Mass. Pat is on here every week, and we'd like to have Pat on to show us some of his ski-doos and talk about his racing history. We're going to have him on very soon, possibly even next week, if I can talk him into it. Paul Bilodeau. Okay, here's some comments that Paul had about the Elan. He says, they had a lot of cool slides back in the 60s and 70s. They should bring them back at an affordable price. I totally agree. Richard Murphy wants to know where this show is based out of. I'm in the thriving metropolis of Derby Line, Vermont, right on the Canadian border, right on the Quebec border. If I throw a rock off the edge of my property, it'll land in Quebec. In fact, that's how close I am to Quebec. And I don't know if Remy would see that in Quebec. He's probably 100 miles north of me, but yeah, it's right on the border of Quebec. Rick Libby thinks a fuel-injected four-stroke Elan would be sweet with all the suspension upgrades. Yeah, suspension travel, I would think. A little more suspension travel than the old Elans. What do you think on that, Remy?
Yeah, it's a good idea, because the buggy system is a hold system. It was a good system, but a bit too hold, and we need more comfort on these little sled. And the front suspension have to be modified too.
Yes, maybe some ski spreaders, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and A-arms and.
Sure. And we got Bill Cook on here. Okay, Bill Cook is asking, isn't that what they're trying to do for the kids with the 120s? And yeah, I think in some ways. What do you think, Remy?
What's the question?
He's thinking, as far as the Elan project that we're talking about, isn't that what they're trying to do for the kids with the 120 sleds, with the 120cc junior sleds that they've got? In some ways, I think that fills the Elan spot. But the nice thing I'm thinking about the Elan is that it was designed for adults and children. And I don't know. I've never ridden one of those 120s. I don't know how agile that is in the deep powder. Do you have any thoughts on that, Remy? Or?
120s. He talked about the track.
Yeah. Or
he talks about the track.
Yeah, no, not a 120-inch track. About the 120cc junior sleds, the youth sleds.
Okay.
Wondering if that would.
They are too small for an adult.
Yeah.
It's because they are very too small for an adult.
Yeah, they're great for the kids though. But yeah, too small for an adult. And then we've got Ben Tucker.
Yeah, for the kids. Tunbridge. Yeah, for sure.
Sure, Ben Tucker from Tunbridge, Vermont. So yeah, let's go back to our conversation, Remy. I wonder if you'd take us on a little tour of your Elan project that you have there. I think you're sitting on it, correct?
Yeah, for sure. Just switch the cam.
Sure.
Okay.
And while he's turning that camera around, I've got a link in the description
Okay.
if you'd like to check out Remy's petition.
Yeah. So there's the engine. So I've just removed the 247 Rotax engine and put 13 horsepower. It's a Honda copy. So I've put a Comet clutch on it.
Yeah.
They are almost ready to put it right there, and it works pretty well. So you don't have to modify anything. And on the secondary clutch, I've put a Yamaha Bravo spring. They are stiffer, and you have a little better acceleration with this engine. And have welded an exhaust, and it goes right where the two-stroke exhaust go.
Oh yeah.
And that's very simple to do. There's a lot of more of thinking than making.
Sure. Yeah, I imagine a lot of planning goes into that. Yeah, for sure.
I can start it if you want to see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah.
They start better. They start very better than the two-stroke. That's very smooth.
Yeah, that's very smooth. Nice. Yeah, that's very smooth.
And I have a lot more torque with the four-stroke engine.
Oh yeah, more torque.
Yeah, a lot more. So if you have to pull something like I do, I'm pulling a water tank for my sugar shack.
Yes.
And I will see this fall. This is springs. I will see the springs how it works with the water tank.
Nice. And I bet that would be good for someone doing ice fishing, trying to pull a sled with all their ice fishing gear. I bet that would be perfect.
Yeah, it's the same things. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, good. Well, before we wrap it up, Remy, I'm going to show a video that you sent me of you riding this very sled. I'm going to show this to our friends.
My speed record.
Yes, that's right. Let's take a look. Yeah, there you have it. Well, cool. That was Remy on his four-stroke Elan project. And if you like the idea of Ski-Doo bringing back the Elan, sign Remy's petition. There's a link in the description where you can sign the petition, and he'll pass that on to the Ski-Doo people and see if we can't get something like that happening. That would be really nice. Yeah. Any final thoughts, Remy, before we go?
I will say thanks to all people who's watching the podcast, and thanks for sharing and signing the petition. I think together we can bring back the Elan, but we need a lot of people who sign this, and I will make a call to the CEO of Bombardier to try to change his mind.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I'd love to see that. And if they ever come back with it, we'll cover it on this podcast.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely. Good. Yeah, we'll have you on and we'll cover it. We'll introduce it together. Wonderful. Well, good deal. I appreciate you coming on, Remy.
Thanks, Mike, and have a good evening.
All right, you as well. I'm not going to keep Joe Roscoe waiting any longer. Let's bring him on to the podcast and turn his mic on. How you doing, Joe?
Good evening, Mike. Good.
Well, good. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. Now, Joe is on here from Ontario, and he's at his family dealership, his Ski-Doo dealership. He's got some incredible show and tell that he's going to be sharing with us tonight. I'm going to put a banner up on the screen here. This is the name of his dealership, and in a second here, he's going to turn his camera around and talk up what he's got going on there. And I'm going to remove this from the screen. There we go. Yeah, he's turning his camera around right now. Yeah, wait till you see, guys, what he's got to show us. This is going to be great.
We'll go right to the gas tanks first, though, Mike.
Yes, by all means.
Okay, I noticed when you had it on, it was Joe's gas tank. It's not Joe's. It's Joe and Mike's, or Mike and Joe's, or Mike Orr is online. He's really the biggest contributor. Mike's done all the work. I just give him the work to do. So
gotcha. Okay.
But
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Oh yeah, no, Mike does a fantastic job. He's a perfectionist. So actually, Ken's online. This is one of Ken's tanks, the Moto Skis. Ken's invested quite a bit in it, and Mike did the tank for Ken, and it's perfect to a T, if you notice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Then in the middle here is the Blizzard bubble nose tank, and it's an exact fit, part numbers and all. And right here is the 72 Blizzard tank. If you look real close, I don't know if you can see it, you'll see the part number right in it. So
yes.
These tanks are an exact fit, better than better than the new ones, better plastic. And Mike is a perfectionist, so you can guarantee that they're perfect to a T. One other thing Mike's done for me is the head. That's a 70 Blizzard 340 for the bubble nose. That's the head, and he's currently working on that cylinder as we speak.
Wonderful.
What Mike is also working on, we've got a 71 wide body Blizzard tank, and Mike probably, I hope his iPad doesn't blow up right now, but we're trying to have it ready by the end of February, so hopefully that'll be out. With Ken's got different vintage motoski parts too. He's got chain cases, trunks, belt covers. So if you need anything, get in touch with Ken at kensrehab.com, I believe it is, and you'll be able to get motoski parts. For the tanks, you can get in touch with my son at the store here, or Goose is going to be selling them in the U.S. So Goose in the U.S., that's Ken or Ron Thompson, and he's looking after U.S. sales for us.
Nice. And Ken and Mike are both in the comments right now. So if you were curious about these tanks and want to reach out to either of them, just contact them in the comments there and get a conversation started. But yeah, this is great, Joe. Go ahead. Please continue.
Yes. So I'll try and give different views so that everyone can see. So we're hoping to move these tanks. Basically, what people have to understand is shipping. We can do nothing about shipping. Shipping's expensive. Can't do anything about it. And right now, we're really not making money. We would just like to break even. The cost of the mold is very considerable. So
Sure.
It's really just the hobby and to get things done.
Gotcha. Now, John Fitzgibbons is watching, and he's wondering who he might contact in the U.S. To get some of these tanks. I know you'd mentioned Goose as your U.S. contact. Is there a phone number or something for him?
Yes, I'd have to post it. I don't know it off heart, but I will post it for everyone.
Wonderful, wonderful. And also, if someone is curious too, you can email me after the program, and I'll Joe will share that information with me, and I can relay that to you. And also, as you can see here, Ken Haberman is on, and he's got his contact information there. You can find him in the comments of this video if you'd like to reach out to him. But yeah, please tell us about this citation.
That's a 1980 Citation SS. It's pretty well perfect. It's not the one we had as new, but my wife had one exactly. We bought it, the first new sled we ever bought, and so it was one of the favorites I wanted to pick up, and finally did, and so I got it now on display.
Then I remember those when they came out. I was a teenager, and I was madly in love with those.
I'll just take a walk around. I've got a few more. These are kind of some of the ones I have, just special ones I put on display for everyone to see in the store.
I like that RV.
Yeah, they were a little bit hard to find sometimes, but I've got a couple of them actually.
Yeah, and tell me about that racing sled, if you would. Do you mind going back for a second?
Which one?
That one right there in the center of the screen.
Okay, that one actually originated from Kirkland Lake. It was.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it was bought. It came out of Barrie. The fellow was my age. He bought it brand new for I think $5,500, and he raced it, and then it ended up in different places, and I got it from back. It came from Gary Peltola out of Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have the history on it. And then the MXZ, the one in the corner was 2005, the last year of the 800 in Snowcross. So that was my son's last sled. I kept it just as a memento. And then you see the Elite up in I have a couple of them. I got one at home. I drive around right now on the ice.
Wow, that must be fun.
Yeah, they're kind of a hoot to play with. And then the Can-Am, Mike gave me the Can-Am motocross bike.
Nice. Is that late 70s?
Yeah, around 74.
74, okay.
And then my Millennium Mach Z. The Alpine.
Was that the year they had the 1000cc on the Mach Z?
No, 800, that one.
800, okay.
Yeah. So the Alpine, it's 68 Alpine. That's one of my favorites because my dad had bought us one brand new when we were kids. So that was the first sled we had as kids, and it was always fun to drive. Electric start, have the opposed 18.
Yeah.
Then, up beside the 72 340 Blizzard is 2007, the last year of the 440s. I think that one has about 25 miles on it. That's about it.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
And then the first year, 2008, the XP, that's a 600 XP MXZ. And then I believe that's a 2007 600 SDI.
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, the anniversary sled in the corner. It's just fun collecting and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
do you have, go ahead, I'm sorry.
you meet a lot of nice people, and I've gotten to know a lot of really good people and a lot of good friends with it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I apologize. My cell phone's going nuts here. I had muted my microphone there for a second to keep it off, but I wanted to respond to you. But yeah, please continue.
So I'll just go back to the tanks to get a good look. So we're hoping to get interest in them just to get them out and get just get something back for all the work in the molds, really. And like I said, if it wasn't for Mike, we'd never be able to do this.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. Now, I'm sorry, I'm trying to mute my phone here while we're talking because it's going nuts. Here we go. That ought to do it. Did I see a black dot on the rack there in the shop? Yes, there, and an Elan is up there too, I think, and a Blizzard and a TNT.
Yeah, 74 TNT free air. The bubble nose Blizzard, that's a 340 right beside it, and a 71 340 Blizzard also.
Nice. Is it possible to get in a little closer on those?
I'll try to.
All right, don't trip or hurt yourself or anything. If you can't get in closer, that's okay too. But I just love to see those.
There's so much stuff in the store here; it's just hard to get around.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that a little bit better, Mike?
Yeah, I'm liking that. That's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, I wonder if you could tell us about some of those. Any details or any stories behind any of those?
Yeah, the 340 was from Kirkland Lake here. It was a local dealer here, and so it's been around here its whole lifetime. I was lucky to track it down and bring it back and restore it and put it back to the store. It's nice when you have the history on it.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember going as a kid and drooling in the dealership looking at those.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then that one on the far left, is that like an early 60s, one of the early production models?
Yeah, that's a 62, I believe.
62, yeah.
62 tin cab. It's got the JLO engine, that one.
Yeah. And does it have the wooden skis or the steel skis? Or
Steel skis.
Steel skis, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And then to the right of that is what, an Olympic?
Olympic. That's
Okay.
the 12.3.
12, oh, yes, yeah. Good. And what year is that Elan?
It's a 78.
78, yeah.
So.
And then that's a free air TNT?
Yeah, 74 400.
74. Very nice. Very nice.
I think that's the 399, the black dot.
Okay. Yeah, those are nice. You don't see many of those. Would you like to talk up the dealership a little bit? I know this is a family dealership. I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about the history of it and what brands you have and anything you'd like to say about it?
Actually, the dealership now is owned by my son, Tanner. So him and his sister actually work in the dealership, and they do quite well. It's 100% BRP. So they sell all Ski-Doo, Can-Am side-by-sides. As you can see, all the different ones here. All the clothing. Sea-Doo, he also sells. He's big into fishing. So he's got a line of fishing, hunting, guns, steel products. I've got because I'm a logger, really. I've got a couple things. I got a vintage, an old vintage chainsaw here.
Oh yes, yeah.
And then even the chainsaw for cutting cement.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh yeah.
So is that a chain with a special type of teeth on it that is designed for cutting through concrete, or how?
Yeah, it's got it's a carbide chain.
Okay, yeah.
And you feed it with water just to keep the chain lubricated and cool and keep the dust down.
Yeah.
But it actually works very well. So
yeah, that's cool.
We've got a real variety of stuff, and it's a nice occupation and a hobby actually.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm more the tinkerer into the old stuff. One time we had a snowcross race team. That's how I got to know Mike, and we became very good friends. And a lot of the sleds, I tried to keep one every year of the race sled. So I've got some of those tucked away, and that was a fun sport. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on another time. I know that you've got another building there with some other sleds, and we'll have to have you on sometime and look at some of those.
Oh yeah, I've got all different makes and models. I have a few Arctic Cats, Yamaha, Rups, Snowjet. Snow Runners, Husky, Diablo Rouge, you name it, I collect them all.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, before we wrap it up, do you have any, what would you say are some of your earliest memories of snowmobiling back in the day?
Really, the earliest ones was riding the old, or being able to ride or get a ride on the old double tracks. That's what it was. The early pre-1965. I think they were 8 horsepower at the time.
Wow, like the old Alpines.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
nice.
when you were kids, you never had the luxury to ride the snow machines. Even looking at them, and sometimes just being able to run on the packed trail was fun.
Yes.
So,
Did your family do a lot of grooming with that Alpine that you had, that first sled that you had?
no, we just drove it, rode it.
A recreational
all
sled?
over.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, good. I'm going to put that graphic back on here one more time for a phone number. So if anyone has questions about those tanks or anything else that they see here in the dealership, that is how they would get a hold of you, or with your son Tanner, I believe.
That's right.
Wonderful. Well, good. Well, yeah, I really appreciate your coming on tonight, Joe.
Okay, it was fun actually, Mike. Enjoyed it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll have you on another time.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. All right. Well, that was Joe Roscoe showing us his dealership, his showroom, and his tanks. And our next guest we're going to have here. Let's take a quick look at this real quick. This is the menu for tonight's programming. We're on number 2 now. We're about to bring on Luke Bristol for a look at his racing sled. Let me get him on. Here he is. And let me get his microphone on. There we go. How you doing, Luke?
Good. You, Mike?
Good. Good. Thanks for coming on. Now Luke is coming on from St. Johnsbury, Vermont, just about an hour from where I live up north in Derby Line. And we're in his shop now. He's going to do a little show and tell on some of his sleds. And he's turning his camera around. Here we go. Let me put you on full screen here.
So this is a 1971 EXT Special. I picked up like maybe like 5 miles down the road from my house.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for the person that raced it. They obviously raced it, but I haven't found anybody that knows anything yet.
Sure. Now, have you raced it yourself or have intentions of racing it?
No, I've had it running. I've driven it around a little bit, but I'm probably not going to race it.
Sure.
Yep. It didn't have the motor in it, so I found the correct motor and the pipes and all that stuff. So it's all correct as far as I can get it right now, and then we'll see where it goes from here.
Nice. Yeah, that's a cool project. I like that. Is that a period sticker, that AC sticker?
Which sticker is this?
That AC sticker on the left side of it?
Oh, I don't know. It's period. It was on there, so I believe it's period correct. I do not know.
Nice.
It was on there. Then the person that I got it from had a 440 Hearth in it for driving on the trails. So
I see. Yeah.
They used to just drive it on the trails.
Gotcha. And then you replaced it with this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yep. I put the right motor in it.
Yeah, that's cool. I like those Emily stickers too.
Then the next one is a 68 Panther with a 372 Hearth in it. And it's got a single Montana pipe on it.
Yeah, that's cool. I bet that sounds good when it starts up.
Yeah, it sounds definitely good. And this one was only maybe 3 miles from up the road from my house.
Yeah. Now, is that a fuel tank there on the side of the engine?
Yep. 68s had the suitcase fuel tanks. And then 69, I think they went to the trunk.
In the rear. Okay, yes, I remember those.
I believe. Yep.
Now, is that suitcase tank removable so you can take it to a gas station to go fill it up and then bring it back to the sled and hook it on? Or?
Yep, you can take it right out. Yep, you can take them right out.
That's actually a cool idea.
Yeah, I don't know why they switched to the trunk because they all just rusted out anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, because we had a 69 Panther back in the day with a fuel tank in the trunk. It had excellent traction, but boy, if you got that stuck, that was really heavy trying to yank on that.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. And then I have a 70 Motoski SM634 that was Frank Scott's race sled from Maine. Yeah, I guess he was a big Motoski dealer down there.
Nice. So this has some racing history.
Yep, this has race history. I had the motor. I took the motor apart, resealed everything, and it's all finger ported. The crank's been welded and banded. It's ported pretty heavily, and it is definitely loud.
I bet it is. Yeah. I like those pipes. Have you had a chance to drive it? Does it have some get up and go?
I have driven. I do. Yeah, I do drive this one. Yep, this one goes pretty good.
I bet it does. Yeah. How does that handle? How does a sled like that handle?
Not good.
No.
Definitely doesn't handle the best.
So it took a lot of body English to race a sled like that, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely. It is one long sled. I think I could fit all my kids on this sled.
That's cool.
And then this is the sled I race still to today. 194R Hearth in it. And it's also got it's a 73 Lynx with a full rubber track conversion. So it's full rubber track, clip track, and then we race this in Lancaster, Lisbon, Maine. We do pretty good with them.
Yeah. In fact, I've seen you race that. I've seen you win on that too.
Yep.
Very cool. In fact, you were
Yeah,
riding
these
that
ones, they go
the
pretty
day
good.
we met. The first time
Yep.
we met a few
Yeah.
years ago, you
Yeah.
were riding that.
Yep. I remember coming off the track and you were standing right there. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, yeah. And I just happened to have the camera rolling too. In a few minutes, I'll roll that video too when we're finished here. But yeah, tell me about how you got into racing.
Yep.
How long have you been racing?
Not that long. One of my buddies was doing it. Ryan Peterson has the same sled as this. We have two of these, and he
Yeah.
started racing years ago, and then he got out of it. And then I went to go watch him race one day in Lisbon. I was like, I'm going to get into this. And we built two matching sleds. So these are identical sleds.
Identical.
And
Wow.
then, so I've only been racing 2017 or 16, somewhere in there is when I started, I think.
Yeah. Very nice. And you're hooked at this point. There's no turning
And
back,
then-
I imagine.
Yeah, no, there's probably no turning back. I got too many parts for it now.
Nice. Nice. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
A 76. And then, yeah, I got so many parts of that motor, I couldn't afford to get out of it now. And then I got a 76 340 snow twister.
Very nice.
This is definitely a fun sled.
Yeah, I bet it is. Those won a lot of races back in the day.
Yeah, I think they still do very good to the day, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's a really nice shape too.
Yeah, it's not bad. The tunnel's been welded in the back, like typical. They always are.
Yeah.
But this one was only maybe 8 miles from the house. I don't travel very far for these.
Wow, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a sharp looking
And then
sled too. They really
the
look nice.
Thunderjet. Yeah, then the Thunderjet I picked up maybe 20 minutes north of here in a barn. And then it came from the person I bought it from, got it from Burlington. They got it from right out of Burlington, maybe in the 80s, I believe.
Okay.
But that one's fun. I take that out on the track every once in a while.
Nice. I've seen you bring that to shows. I think I saw you riding that at the Washington show a couple of years ago.
Yep. I bring it to the shows and I'll ride it around. Yeah, that's definitely that's a fun sled to ride too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. And then you said you do some fabrication of some, I think, engine mounts. I think you said, right?
Oh yeah, for the race sled, for my race sled, I've been making 194R aluminum motor plates. Or I'm in the process of doing a run of them right now. I'm thinking I can do, like, pricing wise, I'm thinking like $80. I think shipped anywhere in the U.S. is what I'm thinking on these. But I'm still working on them. They're still in motion right now, but they will be available soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. In fact, I'm going to put your number on the screen here. So if someone is watching this and is curious about that, this is how you get a hold of Luke to speak to him about it.
Yep.
Good deal. And I'll take that off. But yeah, please continue.
I got, what else do I got to show you? I got a 4-cylinder King Cat block, new old stock one that I'm looking for parts for, but yeah, that's impossible to find.
That is cool. That is very cool.
Yep. And then what else do I got? So these are all like for my race sled. This is all my Herth 194R cylinders that I got extra for.
Yeah.
So
backup parts and then backup parts to
racing,
the backup
you know how
parts.
racing goes.
Absolutely.
Yep. And if I had lights in my barn, I could take you out there because I got more stuff out there, but I'd have to wait till daytime.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to have you on another time.
Yep.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yep. And these are the kids' sleds.
Yep. Now, do your kids race those, or do they just ride those recreationally, or?
They do. They race these. This one's got a 206 Briggs in it that's runs on methanol.
Methanol. Yeah.
So they all look the same. But, yep. And then the green one is a Champ motor that runs on C14.
Okay. And the kids enjoy that?
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. They ride more at the house than they do anywhere else. End up wrecking each other all the time.
Demolition derby.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Nice. Now I know when we were speaking, you mentioned your day job is you have a powder coating business. Do you feel like talking that up in case anyone's in the area that might like to avail themselves of those services?
Yeah, we have performance powder coating right in St. Johnsbury, right at in the Fairbanks Scales building.
Okay.
We have an oven. We do a lot of race car chassis, like quite a few a year. We have an oven that's 8x8 by 16.
Yep.
So we can do pretty big stuff.
Yeah, you can get a big item in there. A vehicle, probably.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Well, cool. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up? Or
I don't believe so. I think I wrapped everything up that I got in my shop.
yeah. Yeah, well, this is really cool. I appreciate you coming on, Luke.
Yeah, not a problem.
Good deal. Yeah, we'll have you on another time to look at that the items in that other building sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll work. Hopefully I can get some
All right.
lights out there.
Yeah, for sure. Cool deal. Well, yeah, thanks for coming on, Luke. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you,
All right.
Mike.
All righty, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's bring Jim Layton onto the stream here. And how you doing tonight, Jim? Oh, I don't have his mic. Sorry. Too much going on here. There we go. I think we'll be able to hear you now.
There
How you
we
doing,
go.
Jim?
How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it.
I see Tom's on. Hey, Tom.
Oh, I think the audio dropped on you.
You hear me all right?
Oh boy, yeah, we lost your audio, Jim. I'm not sure what happened. Let me click and then click it back on and see if that fixed it.
How's that?
Yeah. Oh no, boy, we're missing your audio. Oh wait, maybe that's just on my end. Let me try this. Yeah, if you could say something for me, Jim.
Yep. How's that?
Okay, the audio is back. I'm not sure why that did that, but we're back in business here. Yeah, Jim is here. He's got some things he wants to show us. Yeah, take it away, Jim. I'm going to hand it over to you if you want to switch that camera around. And then while you're switching the camera, I'm going to ask people to comment on what Jim is showing us. If you have comments or questions, yeah, just ask away, and he'll be happy to answer questions for you. Here we go.
How's that?
That's perfect.
Okay.
I love that Mini. That's really cool.
Yeah, we had that on last time, but it sits in my garage because I like to take it out and mess around a little bit. So this
Nice.
is just the ones that haven't seen it, just a little homemade. It's actually a Murray Track 2 mini bike. Took the tracks off on a little cedar snowblower and attached it to the rear of the frame of the mini bike. And then I got a ski off on a 67 Bombardier and shortened it up. We stuck it on. It's fun to take and just zoom around the shows, when we have them. It don't get out in the powder much, but it sure is fun driving around the parking lot of shows.
Yeah, I'll bet it is. I bet that'll do some good donuts too. Can you do donuts on that?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Nice.
little. It's always a work in progress, but it's fun. It's fun.
Wonderful.
So we'll move on to the within the collection here. This is the 1970 Alpine. It's a 399. We have 4 of these, and from 67 to 70. The 68 is the only one that really is not running. It's got a 399 motor in it as well, and it's stuck. Haven't really had time to play with it. The other ones are single cylinders. They're a tank, but they're a lot of fun just to go play with. So where there's not much snow out there right now, I thought it'd be fun to bring the Alpine out and just play around the fields and stuff with. Like the old song, it takes 40 acres to turn it around, but it's just a joy to ride and have fun with. This one has reverse. It's in pretty good shape for the year of it. Electric start.
Nice.
So,
I remember seeing those back
that's
in the day.
pretty good.
Those were what would tow the groomers back in the early days of trail riding, at least in my experience of it.
yes. Yeah, and it runs real well.
Nice.
So, I'm going to the fishing derby at Long Lake this weekend, and I'm thinking about loading this up and taking it to the lake with me, and just go out and hang out and drive around and watch people fish and talk to people. And not much of a fisherman myself, but I do enjoy going up and hanging out with people and bringing stuff like this to talk about.
Nice. I would imagine that would be a real conversation starter, having that out there with the ice fishing.
It's amazing how many people will come up and want to stop and talk to you.
Nice. Now, the people that see it, do they know what it is, or are they, what the heck is that?
Some people do. Some do. Most are kind of, they look at it and can't quite figure it out, and especially the younger ones. But a lot of the people that are up there fishing, they've seen them before somewhere. Maybe have never seen one in person, but especially this old. I know that there are 2 guys at the lake right now that are fishing, and they got like a 1984 and 85, I think is what they have, Alpines.
Right.
They're up from downstate somewhere fishing, and that's what they brought up. So I'm kind of anxious to meet them.
Yeah, for sure. And you're right. I mean, back in the day, it was a common sight to see these, but today it's not something you see.
No, no.
Yeah, so it's got to be a real eye catcher, I would think.
Yeah.
And I think Jack Ulch, who's, I don't know if you can see on the lower left of the screen there, he says it best. He says he wants it.
Yeah. Usually when people see them, especially when we hook the ski boost up to it, and you haul it along with this and have the ski boost hooked behind it, it really makes a show.
Nice. And Jack Ulch is also asking, is that a 640cc in there?
This is a 399 version.
399. Nice.
Yeah. I think the 68. I'm not sure if that was an original 640, but it has a 399 motor in it right now. But haven't really had time to pull that motor and do anything with it. And then the other ones are all single cylinders.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Now with those single cylinders, do you find it's enough power to move a machine like that, or does it work for it?
It works hard, but it does the trick. I've never really had it out the single cylinder ones out in the powder, and I don't really dare to take this out in the powder either because I don't want to get stuck. But you do a little vintage trail riding, or you go out like now when you've got 6-8 inches of snow and ride around, and it works real well. But they always used to take these things out and break trail with them. So
yeah,
I don't feel like getting stuck.
Yeah, no doubt. That would be a beast to try to get unstuck, especially if you're by yourself.
Yeah. So one of the other things that I've got that I just kind of brought in, and I'm trying to decide what I'm doing with it, and I asked for some help online and got quite a bit of help. I knew that this machine that you're seeing here, the yellow, I knew that it's a black dot chassis, 1970.
Yeah.
And in 1970, they made two versions, which was a 340 and a 399, 340 and a 292. So I really, without a tag on this, I didn't know exactly what it was. And with some help from some friends around the vintage snowmobile world, basically looking at the double roll chain and the 16 tooth sprocket on the front tells them that it's a 340 black dot chassis. So nice. I've got most everything to build this 340 black dot, and so I brought it up with the rest of them and said it's time to see what I can do with it, get it cleaned up, and maybe start restoring it.
Wonderful. So this is your next project.
That's it. Well, it's one of them. Yes.
Good deal.
We did talk about that screw last time I was on. That's still sitting here. I'm waiting for the motor to. I got a buddy of mine that's trying to get the motor cleaned up and get it firing and running right. It's a 1971, I believe. I'm not familiar really with the screw rules, but as I mentioned last time, it's kind of a Johnny Cash sled. It's got a single cylinder sled and a 440 chassis and a 300. It's a slide suspension, but just something that we were putting together for a buddy of mine so he could have something that his grandparents used to have. Nice.
And these are all parts, according to the song, that have been snuck out in a lunchbox, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of time. So I don't know if there's any questions before I move on to the next one.
Yeah, definitely. To the viewers, if you have questions at this point for Jim, by all means, post them. And yeah, he's going to show us a few things while we're waiting for some questions to come in.
Just a few motors. So we talked about this last time. It's a 72 Kitty Cat.
Yeah.
Really good shape. Waiting in the wings for my granddaughter. She's only 18 months old, so it's going to take a little bit before she can get on it, but I can't wait.
She's got that waiting for her.
Yeah.
Now, if you could go back a little, was that a purple mini bike? Was that one of those old Arctic Cat mini bikes?
This one's not an Arctic Cat. I've been looking for one because I want to get one for my kitty cat.
Yeah.
This is just a little. I can't even remember now what the name brand of these two mini bikes are, but they're the old schools. They're from 1970.
Yeah.
I built this one for my daughter when she was like 3 years old. She's 28 now. And last summer, I built this one for my granddaughter. And like I said, she's just over 18 months old now. So just figure I'd hang them in the rafters until she's ready for the toys.
Very nice. Yeah, she's got a nice childhood waiting for her.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun times.
So the last thing I got to show you, we'll move on here, is I had my father's 797 Blizzard. This is a 1971 Skidoo Blizzard. There was 170, I should have looked before, but 170 some made of these sleds. They were just built for racing. He bought this sled brand new in 71. I guess from what I understand, the rough cost of these sleds are around $2,500.
Wow.
For this machine back then, so that was quite a bit of cash. Sat down in our farm here in disrepair for a long time, and till Rob and Leo Kiefer from Caribou come along, and they grabbed it up, they took it over, and they restored the whole thing, and now she's all back to, maybe not brand new, but it's pretty close. I think it's probably 90% original. Had to have a new track put on it, and we can only find, I think, one exhaust pipe at the time when we pulled all the parts together. And so they had brand new exhaust bill, the motor totally redone, and brand new seat built. So this is his. This is my father bought this sled originally, and he's 91 years old now. And this thing right here, if I was gonna, I really love the 1970 Olympics, but this thing here is right. It tugs at my heartstrings.
Yeah, for sure.
Love this machine.
And I bet your father likes to see that as well. That must bring back a lot of memories for him.
He does, and he's always been really good with mechanics of these things, and he can take this thing and tweak it and make it just sing. It's really it's amazing how he can sit down with this machine and just with a screwdriver and do a little tinkering before you know it, the thing is running like a top.
That's amazing. Now, speaking of which, Dick Kafez is watching, and he'd like to know if you could fire that up.
I can fire that up. I think I can fire it up. I'll set the phone down, and as long as I don't make a mistake and flood it.
Okay, sure.
I'll get it fired up here. But let me see if I can set my phone down so they can see it.
Sure.
Let's see here. I'll pick it back up once I get it running, but I hope the phone don't fall.
That's all right if it does. We'll understand. We'll be waiting for you.
All right. We'll give her a little airplane fuel. Now if I can hear again.
Yeah, I bet that's loud in that room. I love that crackle though. That sounds amazing.
It's an amazing machine. It's I can't imagine how they raced these back in the day, but yeah, they all did. Tom Peters will be able to tell you all about that.
Yes, in fact, he left a comment. I don't know if you can see it or not. He's saying he remembers racing against that.
Yeah. They were all good friends and raced good together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, and Tom Peters also says he remembers it well, and to say hi to your dad. He must remember your dad as well.
Yes, he knows my dad well. Yeah.
Nice. And then one comment from earlier too. It's out of sight now, but Jack Ulch was asking where in Maine that you're located.
I'm located in northern Maine in Limestone.
Northern, okay. Limestone,
Yeah.
okay. And then Jack also mentioned those mini bikes, those purple mini bikes. He's thinking they might be Rupp mini bikes.
No, I've always wanted to find a Rupp, but they're not. I know they're not Rupps because I have a good friend that has a Rupp collection, and they're not Rupps, but they're. I think the pink one is more like a Sears bought bike.
Yeah.
And I thought the purple one at first when I got it because of the lay down handlebars was an Indian, little Indian, I guess they call them. But I found out that wasn't it, and somebody told me what the name it was. I just can't remember what it was.
Sure. Well, that's all right.
Yeah. And I have a third one that I built this summer. I actually have it on a stool in my office. I had it painted green and did a lot of work to the motor. It's souped up and it'll run about 45, 50 miles an hour with me on it.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty darn quick.
So it'll roll right along.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Now, I know this is getting off topic a little bit, but I keep catching a glimpse of a Chevy pickup truck there. I wonder if you could just give us a quick look at that.
So I got this, I don't know, 4 or 5 years back. It's a 1987 short box, 4-wheel drive Chevy pickup. Had a plow on it when I bought it. And I bought it and said, I'm going to use that to plow with, even though I had a truck with a plow on it. The price was right.
Sure.
And I brought it home and I played around with it. And I got to looking at it and I'm like, this thing's worth a lot of money if I fix it up. And so again, I always think about my granddaughter and I'm like, so I brought it in the garage and I've started buying parts for it. I'm going to strip it down, probably not frame off restoration, but I'm going to strip it down and get it right and get it painted. And I told my daughter, I said, I have 15 years to do it before she turns 16 years old to get her license. So I got a little time to fix it, but that's what I'm going to shoot for. Cause it's a really nice truck, really solid, besides a few panels that are rotted and rusty here or there, but so a little bit of work, I'll have her done and get it ready for her to play with around the fields and then hopefully use it for her to drive someday.
Awesome. Yeah, she's going to love that. That's a great project. And you're right. All fixed up. That's going to fetch a few bucks.
Yeah,
that's a good investment.
These little short bed, square body trucks fetch a lot of money when they're right.
Nice. That's cool. That's a good investment right there.
Yeah. So,
Good deal.
So those are the toys. I don't know if this thing will start, but it's we'll give it a whirl.
Yeah, by all means.
So they're all
That's
running
cool.
tonight.
That's cool.
That's
One of these days, Jim, if you ever have a chance, if you've got that out in the yard, that mini right there, I would love to see some footage of that. If you ever have that out in the yard,
One of these nice days there, what I'll do is
and we can
I'll
share
have
the
somebody
footage on
video me, and I'll
the
send it
future
to you.
podcast.
Yeah, I'll do
Oh,
that.
did we lose the audio, Jim?
I don't
Oh,
know.
I see what happened. We lost. I don't know what makes that audio go away.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I have your audio back now, Jim.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get a video of that sometime. Send it to you.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Well, cool. Any final thoughts, Jim, before we go? Or
No, I just appreciate you having me on, and where I can't get out and show my toys off to anybody because there's nobody doing shows. This is a good chance to chat with people and see what everybody's got out there. So
yeah, for sure.
really enjoying it.
Well, I appreciate that. And you're right. It's a nice way for people to share what they have in this pandemic situation without putting yourself at risk.
Right.
And we can see what people have in different parts of the country and Canada, and it's just a wonderful way to see what people are doing in this hobby.
It is. So thank you very much for letting me come on.
Well, my pleasure. Thanks, Jim. We'll have you on another time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll pick up some more sleds and show you some more stuff.
All righty. Take care. So we can, he's got some show and tell for us. How you doing there, Josh?
Good. How are you?
Good. I really appreciate your coming on tonight. Now, when we were talking a little earlier, we had a little bit of a delay. I don't know if we still have one or not, but delay or not, we're going to try to work through it. I'm going to give you the floor, Josh. Let you show us what you have there.
Yeah. Awesome. Just want to start by saying thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to promote my little program I got going here. Facebook group, Northwest Vintage Snowmobile Classifieds, and it's a fairly new group. And my goal here is to try to keep vintage snowmobile racing alive out on the West Coast. It's the last few years, it's kind of stepping back up, but there was a pretty good lull for about 20 years, and I just don't want to see it die again. So my goal is to, keep all these old sleds out of the scrap yards and, provide parts for all of our local racers. And I plan on helping out with some youth programs here. We've got several youth riders that, we want to keep them going up through the classes. So my plan here is to, in the next couple of years, get a bunch of good groups together, do some raffles, provide funding for some of these kids, provide some sleds. I've already pulled a whole bunch of sleds out of junkyards, done a lot of restoring on them, trying to get them out to the kids to race. And, redone quite a few sleds here in the last 2 years. I'm fairly new to the racing on my third year, but really, as all you guys know, it's very addictive. So I've built quite a quiver of sleds here now. And we have a really good race program up here. I'm actually up at Priest Lake is where I live. We have a race program. It's called the Vintage Snowmobile Racing Priest Lake. They have their own page. You guys should check that out. Unfortunately, this year, all of our races were canceled due to the COVID restrictions because we are on federal land. But my plan here is on the 20th, I will be racing in Grey Eagle, Minnesota. Then after that, I'll be in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. So that'll be fun, kind of a trip for us. A few of the racers here are all going to go down, and we're really looking forward to it.
Wonderful.
But got a few sleds here. If you guys want to check them out.
Yes, absolutely. While you're turning that around, Josh, I'm going to put a graphic up so people can see the Facebook group that you have. It's a really good Facebook group. If you like vintage sleds, do check that out. And he's got his camera turned around, so I'm going to give the floor back to him. By all means, continue, Josh.
All right, so this is my IFS sled that I'll be racing here in Minnesota next week. It's a 1980 TXL 340 chassis, fully modified, kind of into a cloned RXL. A lot of work was done to this. I actually bought this out of Michigan here last year. I'll be out testing it on the local lakes this weekend. Sled really hooks up and rides nicely, but really enjoy this sled.
Yeah, that's a really sharp looking sled.
It's a fully modified Flannery engine. That's a fully modified Flannery engine with Troy Pierce pipes. A bunch of Troy Pierce work done to it. So looking forward to running this one. But I also run a few. I'll turn around here. Here's all my stalkers and some projects. Like my kid runs this little 120. he was looking forward to racing this year. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, but
Sure.
next year is another year. And then I got an Enticer, an Exciter, then Project TX, and then a TNT that I was turning into a oval sled. Kind of quit on that when the races got canceled. I'll get back to it.
Sure.
My spare RSL hood back here.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, and then back in the race trailer here. That's pretty much what I have.
Yeah, that's really nice, Josh. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Yeah, that's cool stuff. So how long did you say you've been racing? You're racing the whole circuit basically across the northern US or the Midwest and the West, or?
Well, I've raced once in Oregon this year so far, and then everything else has been canceled. So I'll be heading to Minnesota on the 20th to race 2 races there, 2 weekends back to back.
Yes.
And then one of my race buddies just got back to Eagle River. He raced in the World Championships and won his class in 300 super mod. So he'll be at Minnesota as well.
Nice. Yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck with that. That's really exciting. And when are you heading for Minnesota?
thank you.
You're out west now, right? Are you in Washington or Oregon or?
I am northern Idaho.
Idaho.
Very tip of Idaho
Okay.
on the Canadian border. So we'll be, my trailer and sled will be leaving here on the 15th and heading that direction. I'm flying there on the 18th.
Gotcha. And I'm sure you probably told me already that you're in Idaho, but the audio is kind of cutting out and there's a bit of a delay. And I apologize both to you and to our listeners and viewers that we're having trouble with the audio, but it's still nice to have you on and see what you've got there. You get some really nice sleds.
Well, thank you.
Well, cool. And before we finish, I'll just put that graphic up again of that Facebook group that you're doing. And I encourage people to visit his Facebook group. There's a link to it in the description. By all means, check him out. If you want to look at sleds for sale and sleds wanted or want to post in there, it's a great place to post some vintage sleds. But go ahead, Josh. Were you about to say something?
Oh, yeah. So I was just going to let everyone know that these races will be live on Central Minnesota Pond Racing's Facebook page, too, if anybody wants to
Oh,
watch.
yes. I've been carrying that feed sometimes. Yeah, that's great. That's good. You're going to be a part of that. And when you see Mike Mahar, do tell him we said hello. He's a good friend of ours. He's a good friend of this program.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he's a great guy, isn't he?
Perfect.
And we'll have him on this program at some. Well, cool. Well, yeah, I thank you so much for coming on, Josh, and I wish you the very best with your racing career, both this year and years to come.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
All righty. Let's bring him on the stream, turn his microphone on. How you doing, Patrick?
How you doing, Mike?
It's good to have you on. I'm doing very well.
Thanks for having me.
Well, my pleasure. Now, anyone who watches this regularly knows that you are a familiar face. Your videos have been on here in the past, and it's nice to have you on here live.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And you've got some show and tell for us. I'm going to give you a chance to turn that camera around, and we're just dying to see what you've got in your shop there.
All right.
And while he's turning that camera around, please make comments, ask him questions, pay him compliments. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to like what you see here. He's got some great sleds and some great things to show us. And I'm going to put him full screen. The show is yours, my friend.
All right. So you want to just check out all the sleds in here?
Yes, absolutely. If you could tell us a little bit about each one.
Let me get the light on.
All right.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, that's a big difference. That looks nice.
Yeah. So that's a 73 Elon SS.
Nice.
So the real thing about this, they always recalled to put a single carb on it. But this one's got the twin carb still in.
Twin carb, nice.
There's a big difference. But they're a little sluggish out of the hole, but they get a lot of power with the two carbs.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is I'm a do guy, but I got this cat. It's a Wankel. It's a pretty cool sled, 71. Panther.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. That's a nice shape.
Yeah, it's fun. I get a cat cutter. I pull with it, and my dog jumps in it, and we putt around.
Nice.
This is a 82 Elite, 440 liquid cooled.
Yeah.
I got this a few months ago, and I went through it and stuff. Put a spotlight on the top. It's a pretty nice sled.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun to ride around. Everybody wants to jump in it, go for a ride.
I'll bet it is. I've never been in one of those. How do those handle? What's that like to drive one of those?
Well, they get 2 tracks. They want to go straight. So,
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, sharp corners. It's got reverse in it. So, but on groomed trails, it goes pretty damn good.
Nice.
Fun
Cool.
machine.
Sure.
This is a 76 RV, TNT RV 340. And
That's a sharp sled. That's the sled that you had at the crane show the day we met last year, I think.
actually, no, this is the This is the 340. I'll show you the one I bought there.
Sure.
So
All right,
the
getting ahead of
only thing
myself.
in
I'm
that
sorry. Sure.
That would be this 250 RV.
Yes, you're right. Yep.
But they're same sled, different motor. Same
Sure.
year, 76. This one's a little more rare.
Nice.
They made 1,800 of these.
1,800. Wow.
Yeah, they made twice as many of the 340s. So this is a 73 TNT Free Air 400. They built it off
Nice.
a Blizzard chassis,
Nice.
and I put an Elon seat on it, and it did pretty good in its day. Oval track racing. And
Yes.
74, they had the same sled, but they changed it all to with steel cross member and stuff like that, so it would last longer. But this is a great sled right here, real fast.
Nice. Very nice.
What else do I got?
Now we do have some questions coming in, and I'll let you decide if you want to show us some more things or if you want to respond to these questions. But we've
That's
got
fine.
Jeff Forger asking if you can open the hood on that Panther.
On the Panther?
Yeah, the Wankel rotary he wants to
No
see.
problem. It's got leaves and everything in there.
Nice.
It's-
Very
I
cool.
haven't run it this year, but I
Yep.
brought it in here because I was gonna get it going.
Very nice.
But that's it. It's
That's cool.
It's not very fast, but it's got a little torque on the bottom, so it's a pretty cool sled.
Nice. So the low end torque like that, does it make it easier in the powder? Make it a little harder to get it stuck?
Yeah, it just trucks along like a train. It just goes. It goes
Sweet.
pretty good in deep snow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, while you're there near the Elan, Jim Layton had a question about the Elan. He was wondering, is that the same motor that was in the 73 Silver Bullet 294 in that Elan? He's wondering
No,
about
it's a
that.
250.
It's a 250.
Yeah. So in 73 they did Silver Bullet
Mhm.
with the dual cobs too, same exact cobs, but this 250. Deep snow and stuff, it kind of floods itself out a little bit.
Sure.
So they recalled them. They put a single cob on them.
Gotcha. Very nice. And then Alden Banks is saying that he likes that 400 TNT free air, which I have to say that is a sweet machine.
That's my favorite.
Oh, it is.
No, the 250 wins every prize, but this one never does. But this is my favorite right now. So
Yeah,
my
those have a
brother
lot of
Leonard
character.
used to race this back in 73, I guess.
Yeah.
72, 73. It's real fast. It's really light. The handle's awesome.
Nice.
It's so light because everything's aluminum, so it's a pretty cool sled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, John Spranger Jr. has said that he used to race a 73 free air, and he says they were great sleds, so he agrees with you.
Oh yeah, yeah. They got the they call it Kelsey. Kelsey Hayes disc brakes.
Yeah.
74 to put the cable brakes in it. It's got so it's got the hold on, open this. They got big Tilsons in there.
Yeah.
So the cross members aluminum.
Yep.
So people that trail rode these things, they all bent and broke. So they usually welded in there, but this was a good one that never broke. They didn't do much trail ride with this one.
Nice. So they didn't beat on that one.
No, every other one I've ever seen was always, welded up and stuff. So this is pretty
Yeah.
good.
That's
And
cool.
Do you want to see the 292?
Please, yeah.
So this is a 71 292 TNT. So my dad, my brother, and another guy, they used to race this, not this sled, but the same model, on Star Speedway every weekend. They got a lot of trophies with it, but this is a different sled. I just got this one, went through it to remake what my father had. So pretty
Yeah,
cool
that's a
sled.
nice way to preserve those memories.
Yeah, yeah. So this is was in the paper back then, and there's my father's race sled with Andy Gonis driving it.
Wow, and that's the same sled.
Yep, Gonis
No kidding.
Star Speedway. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and that's my father that owned it right there. So cool
Wow.
stuff. So this guy that raced it, he passed away, but he gave me that clipping.
Wow, that's cool.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, Jeff Forger has a question. He's wondering what was the TNT with the triple in it around 76? He's wondering if that was a 773 or was that possibly a 797 like that sled that was on here last week?
What year did you say?
76.
No,
So I know Jim
they
Layton had
didn't
a
have it-
797
they didn't have it
last week.
76. They had it in 72, 71, 70, 73. Blizzards. TNT's triples were those were Blizzards actually. The big 775 twin TNTs, like 71.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that. With that chassis right there.
Yeah.
The
Because
tri-
Jim
the only
Layton had a
triples were
triple
the
last
ones,
week.
Blizzard.
Because
Yeah.
Jim Layton was on
I
here
got
last
one
week
of
with a 797 triple Blizzard. I wonder
saw
what
that.
year. I can't remember what year that was though. I wonder if that's what Jeff
That
is
was,
asking about. Or
I'm pretty sure that was a 71.
okay, yeah,
That triple leg. What was it, 72? I'm trying to think.
yeah, you're right. That was early
Were
70s.
the carburetors up on his lap because the
Yes.
72s they dropped the engine? Yeah, I thought that was a 71. I had a
Yeah, I think
72
you're
and
right.
sold it, and I'm not happy about that. I sold it years ago.
I bet. Seller's remorse.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then Alden Banks is saying he had one of those T and T400 free airs and worked good back in the day. And we've got Richard Brazo. He's wondering what the estimated horsepower is in the 76 RV250. Any thoughts about that?
I believe it's 46 horsepower.
46, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the 250 is like 43, but when you drive them, the 340s feels a lot more powerful than the 250.
You can feel the difference.
Yeah,
Sure.
this one has 48, I believe.
48.
The TNT 400.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that moves right along, I can imagine.
Yeah, this thing's fast.
Nice. And then Jim Layton is confirming that was a 1971 last week, that 797 Blizzard.
Yeah, I thought the motor was up. It was up. Yeah.
And then Aaron Sully is complimenting him on the nice sleds.
Yeah. A lot of work. I got these all. They weren't that good a shape when I got them, but we worked hard on them.
Yeah, they're looking fine right now.
Yeah.
Now, in previous conversations, you'd mentioned that you'd done some racing in the past. I wonder if you could give us a few highlights on your racing history.
Yeah, well, I drag raced. I started drag racing probably late 80s. Like,
yeah.
In the 90s, I started like getting real serious, traveling. And yeah, I stopped racing in 2013 or something, like 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got up. So I raced stockers in the 90s. Then I got improvers. I built a bunch. So that's that was my Pro Stock 1000 right there.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I won some national events with that.
Yeah.
Epping, Ohio Snow Bash. Yeah. I went to Canada and raced. That's another sled I built.
Nice.
Yeah, I built a bunch of race sleds.
And those trophies up above, are those from showing the sleds or racing the sleds or a mix of both? Or?
They're mixed in.
Yeah.
The plaques are mostly from the stock sleds I raced in the 90s, Northeast Grass Rags. The trophies are mixed, kind of radar runs and all the big races I won, like national events. I didn't get no trophies.
Right.
Got money and stuff, but
money's always good.
Yeah, I get some trophies from like Ohio Snow Bash. We got some trophies up there from them.
Nice.
But yeah, it's fun.
Very cool. Now, can you give us a close up on that clock?
What's that?
Can you give us a close up on that clock?
Oh, the old Rotax.
Oh, look at that.
I think it's an early 70s. I don't know if it's a 335 Olympic motor or couldn't even be a 292.
Wow.
It was in the cellar. My father was a dealer. It was sitting down there for years, and I put a little clock on the front of it.
That's very clever. I like that.
Yep.
Very cool. Now, your day job, Patrick, you have a small engine repair shop.
Yeah.
And I know you're in Massachusetts. I wonder if you could tell us the town that you're in. So if anyone's in the area, that they might try to patronize your shop if they're nearby.
Yeah, Haverhill, Mass. We do lawnmowers and snow throws. I used to do snowmobiles, but I'm too busy with mowers and snow blowers, so that's what I do now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And if anyone,
full of them right now.
Yeah. Now, if anyone's in your area that might want to contact you about having a snowblower or a lawnmower repaired, you game to share a phone number in case someone might like to reach you?
It's 978-373-3431.
Yeah.
And we're 2 weeks behind.
2 weeks behind. Yeah, I bet this time of year with the snowblowers.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a lot of snow this year.
Sure. Well, cool. Well, any final thoughts before we wrap it up? Or?
No, really. Thanks for having me on, though.
Yeah, it's definitely our pleasure. We appreciate your coming on. I know we've been talking about this for quite a while, and it's nice to finally have you come on.
Actually, I'll show you one thing. So this sled right here.
Yes.
So this clutch right here is it's a Polaris design clutch that Skidoo bought the rights to. They kept blowing up, so they had recall. So they put the other Skidoo clutches back on.
Gotcha. So they put another clutch on.
I think it's called a HP clutch, I believe. Yeah. But that's it.
Well, good deal. Good deal. We're getting a lot of compliments coming on. Are you able to see those on the screen? The compliments that are coming in?
No, no.
Okay.
No.
That's all right. We've got Joe Rosat was saying nice machines. We've got David Noon saying hi, Patrick. We've got David Hogan saying great show, loves the sleds. And David Noon is asking if you have any of Scott Gleed's sleds.
Scott Gleed's is at my shop right now.
Oh, he is?
Not this show. Yeah, he was my best friend growing up. So that's his nephew, I believe.
Oh, so David is Scott's nephew.
He passed away a few years back from cancer. He was I grew up with him. That's me and him rode snowmobiles every day. But
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I still got it. It's in perfect shape. It's at the shop. I was actually working on it.
Gotcha. We'll have to have you on another time with that.
Yeah, it's the same exact thing as this one right here. We bought them together.
Oh, you bought them together?
Yeah, it's the same exact thing as the 340.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and one last thing. I know in previous conversations we've had, you mentioned that when you were young as a child, your father had a dealership and had a few different brands that he sold. Can you give us the quick story on that?
Yeah, in the 60s, actually, there's an ad right here. So it's the same shop that I have now. So it was back in the 60s. He had, right here, what was that? Stockcraft.
Yeah.
There's another ad. So that must have been Snow Cub. He sold Snow Cubs.
Yeah.
Yardman Snow Cubs. And I think there's a picture I can't get a good view of it, but that's not Snow Pony. Geez, I forget the name. But then he got Skidoo in 71, I believe. And that was till like 75.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Good deal. Good deal. Well, yeah, I really appreciate your coming on, Patrick.
All right. Well, I loved it. Thanks for
All
having
right.
me.
Me too. All right. We'll catch up with you soon.
Take it easy, bud.
All right. You too, man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's get him onto the stream, and just a click away. Here we go. How you doing, Stephen? Thanks for coming on.
Great. How about you?
Very well, thank you. Now, I understand that you were originally from New England. Is that correct?
I was. I grew up in central New Hampshire and spent all the way through college kind of in New England, and then moved out here to the West Coast.
Wonderful, wonderful. And it looks like you brought some of that collection with you. Is that right?
I did. I've still got a few sleds hiding in New Hampshire and a few other sleds hiding in a storage unit around here, but I've kind of got a new place and got things a little bit organized and kind of got them at my own house here now. So it's a good thing.
Awesome. Yeah, we can't wait to see it. Now, I wanted to ask you also, I think you mentioned that your father was a snowmobile dealer at one point. I wonder if you could tell us a little about that.
Yeah, my dad started in '69 as a Boland's dealer in Andover, New Hampshire. And over the course of probably the next 5 years, he had Polaris and Boland's and sold some Huskies and Alouette and Northway and Eskimo and some motorcycles and Butacos and a few other items that he had in his dealership there. But that was all before I was really alive. But
Sure.
That was what he did for a job until one of the interstate systems kind of put people going in another direction in that area.
Sure, sure. But it sounds like that his passion for that rubbed off on you.
It did. I was telling you as we were talking earlier that a lot of my childhood was spent snowmobiling in New England and restoring vintage sleds and hunting down parts so my dad and I could piece something back together and do a restoration together. And that was really one of my fondest memories growing up in New England was that and the New Hampshire Snowmobile Museum and the people of that area.
Nice. That's right. I think you mentioned you were connected to that museum.
Yeah. It was kind of back in about the mid '80s through to the time that I moved out here. And then even when I moved out here, I still would fly back for vintage shows and all sorts of stuff as I tried to continue to do some of the volunteer work from 3,000 miles away. It got a little harder as time passed.
Wow. Well, that's really cool. Now we got Bill Cook asking a question, wanting to know where these sleds are hiding. I know you're in Washington State. Can you tell us where in Washington State?
Yeah, I'm almost the geographical center of Washington State, and it's in Orondo, Washington, and it sits right on the Columbia River, about halfway between the Canadian border and Oregon, and about halfway between Spokane and Seattle.
Yeah, nice. And
it's snowing outside right now.
Oh, it is. Good deal. Good deal. Once we're done, will you take some sleds out at some point, or do you have modern sleds for trail riding? Or
yeah, my kids love to have me tow them up the hill on the other side, and they ski down it. So we kind of have a motorized rope tow, so to speak.
That is cool. That's cool. They'll have good memories of that someday.
Oh yeah.
Good deal. Yeah, if you're ready to turn your camera around and show us what you have there, we would love to take a look.
Yeah, let me flip the camera over here.
And to our viewers, while he's doing that, feel free to ask questions of Stephen or make comments, and also please compliment him if you'd like what you see there.
So I guess I'll just kind of start in a round robin fashion here and try to get a little bit of everything. So I've got some newer stuff in my collection, like this little Minty VMAX 4. That's pretty cool sled. I bought it with about 700 miles on it, and that came from the West Coast here. Believe it or not, somebody had that thing out here. And I've got a little Junior Brute that actually came out of Ontario. I traded a Merc Snow Twister suspension for that sled. I feel like the lucky recipient of that one.
Yeah.
And I've got all three versions of the Super Brute from Alouette. So I've got a 295, a 340, and a 440.
Yeah.
Also have a bunch of kind of, snowmobile memorabilia that goes along with this stuff. So a double-sided lighted sign from Alouette.
Yeah. Are those from your father's dealership?
You know what? It's a really sad story because my dad had one of those. And when his business went out of business, he turned it upside down, pulled the faces out of it, and used it as a shop light over the bench for about 15 years.
Yeah.
And then threw it away.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I had to search this one out. But
wow, but it's like the one your father had?
Yeah, it's exactly the same. So I was able to find one, but it was, a little tricky.
Can you give us another look at that real quick before you get into these Alouette?
Yep.
Wow, yeah, that's cool. So that's like the one your dad had.
Yep, I remember growing up, it was over the bench. The faces were out of it, and we just used the ballast and the fluorescent lights as a shop light over the bench.
Nice. And you get a banner just below it too, right?
I do. Yep, that's an Alouette Delivers Advanced Snowmobiling.
Very cool.
And to be honest with you, I don't know where that came from. It was off the internet somewhere along the way.
Nice. And Eldon Banks is saying he loves your VMAX.
Yeah, it's the only Yamaha snowmobile that's got a ton of horsepower and a mechanical brake. Good Lord. So a couple more things up here. We've got a 340 Alouette Super, and that came out of Jerry McGee's collection in New Hampshire. And then I've got the back end of a Yamaha 73 SR 433.
Yeah.
That was they came out of Lee and Conch collection in Wisconsin. And then I'll kind of move down a level here. My dad and I, this is the first sled we really restored, is a 66 Skidoo Olympic S.
Yeah.
And it's got the double carb setup on the single cylinder engine. It's kind of cool.
Very nice. Yeah, that's a nice shape too.
I remember buying that in a laundry basket.
Oh, really?
If you can believe it or not, it was in a laundry basket.
Wow. So all the parts and everything were in a laundry basket.
Yeah, it came in pieces, and we just kind of, pieced it together and made it work. Maybe I'll just keep going with the Skidoos here. So my dad loved restoring vintage Skidoos. So we've got the 66, a 65 Chalet, a 63 Kohler 4-stroke, and then this 61 tin cab here on the end.
Yeah. Wow, that's really nice. All of those are beautiful.
Thanks.
That's some nice restorations.
The 61 has a little story to it. I couldn't afford it when I found it, and it was unrestored. And a buddy of mine, Dave Gazaway, bought it in New Hampshire and restored it. And it's a beautiful restoration. I really like it. It had some cool patina because it was all rusted and kind of yellowy rust.
Yeah.
It was really cool as an original, but it's also cool as a restored sled.
Yeah, for sure.
So I kind of go down here. I've got a Brute LC 44. That's a liquid cooled 3-cylinder. And that one actually came out of Alberta, Canada. And I had it shipped to Vancouver and went there and picked it up and brought it home and nursed it back to life.
Yeah.
Then this Speedway came out of New Hampshire when I was still living back there. That's a 440.
Yeah, very nice. Is that a metallic blue?
Yeah, it's got a lot of speckle coat in it.
I was going to say, I see some flake in there, or at least I think I do.
Yeah, it's got that, it glistens in the sunlight.
Yeah, that's a nice finish. Please continue. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. I'm happy to answer any questions. Then this 76 SRX came out of a swap meet here in Washington in the Seattle area. And I showed up and it happened to be there. And another guy was kind of looking at it. And he asked me, the other guy that was looking at it asked me, what do you plan on doing with it? And I said, well, I'd probably buy it, restore it, and never get rid of it. And he goes, then you should buy it. So
nice.
and he's one of my great friends. That was how we met that day was, hey, what are you going to do with this thing? Are you going to keep it or are you just going to flip it? And I said, well, yeah, I'm going to keep it because it's a cool sled.
Yeah, for sure. So it was important to him to know that this was going to a good home.
Yes, very much so.
Very nice.
All right, so I got over here, climb up on my ladder. I've got a 68 Yamaha SL 350.
Yeah.
And that came out of Woodstock, New Hampshire when I was living back there. And I don't know exactly how many of those were made, but there's lots of rumors about how many were made and that they were supposed to go back to Yamaha, that they were kind of a prototype and only given the sleds in the snow belt, and lots of stories and rumors, and who knows what's true and what's not. But I've only seen a couple in person, and it's probably one of my favorite sleds in my collection.
Nice. I believe it's the only one I've ever seen. I've never seen one with a light assembly quite like that.
Yeah, it's quite neat. I wish I could get to the other side. It's got twin carbs with some big they almost look like aerosol spray can caps on the end of the carbs as air cleaners.
Okay, yeah.
It's a pretty neat sled. It's interesting to see the progression between 68 and 69 and what stayed the same and what didn't. It's kind of a neat pivotal couple sleds.
Yeah. It's true. At that time, the late 60s through the early 70s, a lot was happening with the technology and design of snowmobiles, for sure.
Right. Oh, for sure. Is totally right. Then I've got a 70 SL 338 that's kind of minty, and I picked that up in Eastern Massachusetts when I was going to college at UMass.
Nice.
Then the little Mini Z came out of Washington. I got that for my son as his first sled the weekend before he was born.
Oh, wow. Nice. So he's growing right into this hobby then.
He is. We transitioned onto a Bravo a couple years ago, and now he's on a Phaser Mountain. So he keeps moving up in the world. Very cool.
Very cool. Now I'm going to interrupt you for a second. Scott Haston, I think, has just joined us, and he's wanting to know who we're talking with and where this is. And yes, we're speaking with Stephen Burdick, and he is out in Washington State, Central Washington. But yeah, please continue, Stephen.
Yeah. So 84 Phaser, and I love the connection between the Super Brutes and the Phaser because there's some rumors in there too that Yamaha purchased the Super Brute in the crate and took it back to Japan and analyzed the thing. And 10 years after Alouette went out of business, here comes this Phaser that's, remarkably similar with the headlight on the handlebars and the
it's true,
pod.
Yeah.
And
it was very similar.
Yeah, there's too many similarities to not be quite a real story. Then I did start recently, well, I say recently, in the last 5 years or so, restoring a 340 and haven't done much on that in the last couple of years, but hope to make that a project here coming pretty soon.
Nice.
So over on this side, I got a Boland's key coffer, and the rumor on this one has it that Carl Keycoffer from Mercury Marine, he kind of split off on his own, and there's some great pictures of just stacked up Keycoffer engines that all ended up being available because Bombardier or Skidoo decided not to use Keycoffer as their engine manufacturer. They went with Rotex instead. But this sled actually has that Keycoffer engine in it with the electronic CDI.
Very cool.
So it's kind of a neat sled.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
My dad always said that was one of his favorite sleds he ever sold. Basically due to the fact that it's a screamer. The thing's got a lot of power for a 440.
Nice, yeah.
Then I've got a 72 Kitty Cat up here, and I don't think this had ever been run. I don't think it had ever had fuel in the tank. And as much as I wanted to keep it that way, it's really hard to have a sled and not put gas in it. So it has been run, and it has been ridden by my son on a really limited basis.
Sure. Now that wheel kit, is that for driveway driving?
Yeah, we used to. Oops, I climbed down the ladder. We used to mess around with it a little bit in the yard, and just tried to keep it out of the trees.
Yeah. Very cool. Now Scott Haston is asking, how many square feet is this building?
Oh, it's actually the garage underneath my house. So it's it might be 1,000 square. No, yeah, it might be 1,000 square feet.
Nice.
I've tried to maximize my space by having pallet racks and having a little forklift here to be able to pick things up and put them on racks. So
very cool. Yeah, that allows you to get maximum use of that space, which you're definitely doing.
Yeah. So this is an Alouette Silver Cloud, and it was Alouette's version of a rotary sled. So it's got the 295 rotary in it.
Yeah. Very cool.
And then let's see here. Got a big Yamaha dealer sign.
Nice, yeah.
And a horrible story about a broken Yamaha dealer sign.
Oops.
But I got 2 good panels in it now, but a horrible story.
Wow.
For another day.
Gotcha. No problem. Oh, I like that Yamaha.
Yeah, and this is a great runner. I really actually enjoy running this one. It's loud as anything, and it's just it's a hoot to ride.
Very cool. Is that a 440 or 340 or what?
Yeah, it's a 433.
433, yeah.
Yep. And it's funny in comparison wise because the Yamaha's a 73 and the Alouette's a 74. And the Yamaha, when you're flying down the trail on it, it feels pretty like rigid and pretty firm in the chassis. And the Alouette feels like a Budweiser can as it twists and moves and buckles, and it's a totally different world.
Wow, two completely different experiences.
I just read a comment about no Polaris. I just don't have my Polarises here.
Oh wow.
I don't allow them to fraternize with the other sleds.
Keep them separated.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, cool. We'll have to have you on another time for those.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
And I'm glad that you can see the comments. I was going to ask you if you can see them because a lot of people are paying compliments to you. I wanted to make sure that you're seeing all of that.
Oh, thanks. Well, I caught a couple. Some yes and some no.
Gotcha. Okay. So please continue.
Well, I just wanted to, like I said, my dad was a dealer, and I was able to find one of these stickers on one snowmobile we recovered from New Hampshire. So I do have a little bit of a project dream that I'm going to someday make up one of these stickers for every one of the sleds that I currently have and put it on the tunnel somewhere.
That's a great idea.
Just haven't gotten there yet.
Very cool. I'm going to interrupt you 1 second. Kevin Olson is asking about that Silver Cloud, wondering if it's a Mark 1 or a Mark 2.
Oh, that's a good question. I believe it's a Mach 1.
Gotcha. Wonderful. Please continue.
Yeah, so I do collect a bunch of memorabilia and stuff, and I just moved in and haven't got nearly any of it out yet. But these are just a couple of the brochures for some of the sleds that were sitting in here today that I pulled. I kind of have brochures for most every sled I've collected. So, trying to find a 68 Yamaha brochure is a tricky feat.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
And hey, there's our Polaris for whoever was asking.
There we go. Yeah. The Polaris box has been checked.
Yeah.
Very cool.
This one's one of those.
That's an oldie.
Yeah, big long ones from 63.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
Those are in really nice shape too.
Thanks. Yeah, they're like I said, I've kind of collected them and picked them up over the course of time, and just tried to preserve them the best way I can. And I'd always hoped someday I'd have a chance to kind of get them out and display them a bit.
Yeah. Some old retro snowshoes.
Yeah. Well, what's cool about them is they're Skidoo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See if I can. The emblem's a little hard to see, but maybe you can see it there.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
So I'm assuming they're from. I'm thinking maybe the early 70s, but
yeah,
I'm not 100% sure. Maybe somebody would know more about this and the numbers and stuff that are on them, but I'm not 100% sure. But when you find something like that at a yard sale, you just kind of pick them up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're not going to turn your back on something like that.
No, it's hard to.
Now, Beach McIntyre is asking if you ride any of these sleds.
I do, and I used to do a lot of vintage riding. My parents had a big chunk of property in central New Hampshire, and every single year, everything would get run, just to exchange the fuel. And when I became a dad and I had a family, all of a sudden the possibilities of getting every vintage sled in our collection out and running it every year kind of died.
Sure.
So I have put avgas in everything, and pickled everything, and a couple things come out a year, but I've kind of tried to, like I said, kind of pickle things so that I don't end up having to work on stuff every time I want to ride something.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people have used avgas as their choice of pickling, but if you haven't ever used avgas, you really need to think about it, because I guarantee any sled in this collection would start and run immediately off of what's just sitting here.
That's cool. So it doesn't get gummy or anything.
Yeah, it just doesn't break down and mess up. Even non-ethanol fuel doesn't last, a period of time, but the avgas 100 low lead is really good stuff.
Good to know. That's a good tip. That is a good tip. Now, I've got Steve Keander on here. He's saying hello to you. He said he was able to sit on the board with your dad, George, for the New Hampshire Snowmobile Museum, and he pays a compliment that your dad was a great guy, had a ton of history, and it's nice to see you carrying on the legacy.
Oh, thanks a ton. That means a lot. My dad meant a lot to me, so it's nice to know that other people felt highly of him too.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, a question for you, a personal question. How do you see the Western snowmobile scene, vintage snowmobile scene, as compared to the Northeast or maybe even the Midwest? Are there any differences at all, good, bad, or otherwise?
Well, there's a great group of vintage snowmobile people out here. I would say that we are not nearly as close together geographically as people on the East Coast or people in the Midwest. So, some of the people that I enjoy hanging out with vintage sled-wise live 6 hours from me, but are still in the same state.
Wow.
So the physical distances become a challenge on occasion.
Yeah.
But a great group of people, and there's really an emphasis on vintage rides and doing that sort of stuff right now, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
They've had to cancel most of their stuff this year due to the COVID stuff, but it's fun to get together and hang out and ride old sleds and mess around and make new friends,
So is this an active club that does vintage things, put on vintage shows and rides and so forth?
Yeah, it is. It's the Pacific Northwest Vintage Snowmobile Club.
Yeah.
And they're pretty active. We have a couple, large snow show sort of stuff, like the Puyallup Snow Show, which is the Washington State Snowmobile Association. They put on a big, new sled show every year, and they always give us space to display snowmobiles. And there's one in Spokane as well. It's just, it's kind of neat. There's a little bit of an affinity and a love for allowing people to display and show old stuff.
That's cool. And you're right. Like you said, it's a great way to find these other people that are interested in the same hobby and strike up relationships with them and stay in touch with them.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Because it's one thing to enjoy this hobby on your own, but when you have friends, like-minded friends, it really makes it so much more fun and interesting, because very often they have sleds too, and it's fun to see what they have, and they like to see what you have, and it's just a really good time.
No, I totally agree. And I've been lucky. When I moved to Washington, I ended up finding a couple really good snowmobile buddies that are just within 30 minutes of me.
Perfect. And
one of those buddies helped me house most of this collection until I found a garage that would house it for myself. So he's a great friend.
Wonderful. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Well, we're running out of time for this segment, but did you have any final thoughts or anything else you'd like us to see before we wind it down?
Well, I've been just kind of walking around here showing different angles and different things, but if anybody had questions or wanted to know any more about something, or if I thought I knew where some parts were or something to help with the restoration, I'm always happy to kind of help out with that stuff.
Wonderful. Yeah, I appreciate that. So if anyone does have questions along that line, please leave them in the comments here, and Steve will be checking the comments a little later after the program, and he'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Well, good deal. Well, yeah, I really appreciate you coming on here tonight, Stephen. It's been really great having you on.
Yeah, thanks for, and I told you this before we started, but thanks for kind of being a pioneer in this podcast of vintage snowmobile stuff, and making it more than just internet surfing for pictures and that other stuff. There's a coolness to watching the podcast, and there's a coolness to looking forward to something on Thursday night every week. Nice. And I know that there's a ton of time and hours and energy that you put into lining something up every week.
Yes.
So that's not just a hit or miss. That's not just a fly by night event. So thanks for dedicating a lot of your time and energy to make that happen.
I really appreciate the comment. It's great to hear that. And yes, you're right. There's a lot of work that goes into this. And when I see a lot of people interested in it, on here every week, and people like yourself coming on and paying compliments, and I see the comment section just fills right up. That just makes this so satisfying to do. And yeah, so thank you. I appreciate the compliment, but I pay it back to everyone else too for making this possible, because it takes everyone that's involved with this to keep this going. Because I couldn't do this if it was crickets.
Well, it wouldn't be rewarding if it were crickets, right?
True. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, can I give one shameless plug to the New Hampshire Snowmobile Museum that's going to try a virtual vintage rally this coming weekend?
Please do. And while you do, I'm going to pull up a graphic I have for them, because they are good friends of mine as well. But yeah, I'll pull up that graphic, and if you want to talk it up under the graphic.
Yeah. Well, man, I haven't been in that room of the museum for a little while, and I can see a sled way back in the corner that we donated, my dad and I. That's pretty.
Nice.
That's pretty heartfelt image. You found the right one for me tonight.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so they're going to try a vintage virtual rally this weekend, and it starts at 8:00 Eastern time on Facebook. And I don't know all the rules, but I think the rules are about like this. You submit one picture for the sled you're wanting to display, and you have to be in the picture. And you can post as many sleds as you want, different sleds, one picture per sled, and you have to be in the picture. And they've got prizes and door prizes, and they've gone to a lot of trouble to try to figure out how to do something interesting and cool in this world of social distanced stuff. So
that's an innovative idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great group of people. They really are. Do you know how someone might find this if they'd like to find it on Saturday? Is there a website or a Facebook? Or?
Yeah. Well, apparently they've got a Facebook event set up, so that's supposed to go live at 8:00 on Saturday. You could also check out their museum webpage at www.nhsnowmobilemuseum.com.
Yes, in fact, I've got that on the screen at the bottom of this graphic. You can see their web address. I may even have their web address in the comments of this, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, and or you can search on Facebook to get that link as well. I think they have a Facebook page as well. Or I know they have a Facebook page.
They do, yeah. Good deal. Good deal. Well, great. Well, yeah, I really appreciate your coming on, Stephen. It's been really good meeting you and great having you on.
Thank you.
All right, we'll have you on another time. Appreciate it.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
You too.